May 1991 by the Harry S. Truman Good Neighbor Award Foundation. Mr. Kauffman, our congratulations, sir.
You cannot imagine the thrill I had when Mr. Wadsworth put my name in the same sentence with Harry Truman. I think many of us will agree that it has been well over 100 years since any president made the courageous decisions that Harry Truman made. I want to thank you, Phil, for that kind introduction. I only wish my mother and father were present. My father might have enjoyed it. My mother would have believed every word of it. Undoubtedly, most of you are aware of Mary and Merrill Dow's Project STAR program. It's been in operation 7 years, where we teach pre-high school students the principles of self-management and the social skills to resist cigarettes, alcohol, and other drugs. We started with 9,000 the first year, and this year we are training over 100,000 students throughout the entire state of Kansas, Missouri, parts of Colorado, almost all of Indiana, 11 schools in Washington, D.C., and we've just went in experimentally 2 schools in New York City. However, one of the most interesting parts of this program is that the first year we took 800 pre-high school students whom we trained in this program. We took another 800 of supposedly equal ethnic and social economic circumstances and didn't train them. We followed them for 5 years to see whether there was a residual effect of this program. Research analysts interviewed them every year. University of Southern California, research people came up and said these 800 who were trained, 5 years later, 30% less cigarette smoking, 25% less alcohol, 42% less marijuana. Did it work? It sure did. The next program we started on was Project Choice, where we were attempting to reduce the dropout rate at high schools. We now have the entire freshman, sophomore, and junior class at Westport, chosen because of the socioeconomic status, with students mostly from the poverty and minority area, 60% black, 20% white, 18% Hispanic, 2% Asian. 2 startling factors came from this. First, the best one. The parents and the students signed an agreement that we could test them randomly anytime we wanted to for drugs. Only high school publicly in the United States that is done. You won't believe it. This year, we tested 700 of these students by an outside diagnostic laboratories and found 1 student on drugs. I didn't believe it. I told the director, Mr. Rohn, test 200 of them all over again. Cost $2,000. Not one of them in the recheck had any drugs in their system. Now, my point to you, the other startling fact, and disturbing, this freshman class, every freshman class, 50% of the students are 2 years behind in reading and math. 25% more are 1 year behind in the same subjects. So we immediately put tutors in, tried to bring them up to the level that they should be because they couldn't learn otherwise. At the same time, in reading research coming out of Chicago, it was found that 46% of the kids going to kindergarten from the poverty minority areas didn't know their first and last name. The same percentage couldn't differentiate colors. We came to the conclusion when we added that research to what we had found out at the freshman class that we were starting too late. Therefore, we created a new program called, and it's just going into operation this year, Project Early. We are going to start in the womb. We will take 200 mothers to be, see to it that they get prenatal care, and after the baby is born, with the mother caring for it the first 6 weeks, we'll then furnish nurseries in the neighborhood where we've trained local mothers and grandmothers. We've trained them and we will pay them and furnish the equipment for them to each take care of 3 infants during the daytime. The mother can go back to school or go to work, and if she isn't trained so she can go to work, we'll see that she's trained. After the child is old enough, say at 2 years, we'll place them in our own nursery, start teaching them until they're 5 years old. Then, when they enter kindergarten, they should be on equal par or even higher level than those suburban kids in Shawnee Mission. We've had the complete cooperation of all the social agencies of Kansas City. They're enthusiastic about this program. But most importantly, it has been the cooperation of the state of Missouri and its social agency, which distributes federal and state funds to the indigent. At the present time, these indigent people no longer will do as they are now, where they're somewhat of a ping pong ball going back and forth at the convenience of the state government. Today, if they need aid for dependent children, they have to go to one location. They want food stamps a mile away, they go to get that. And you know how bad transportation is in Kansas City when you don't have automobiles. Listen to this. All these other agencies, Medicare, emergency assistance, in Social Security, rental assistance, family and individual counseling, mental health, drug abuse services are all in separate agencies. What the state of Missouri has agreed to do is to put one office located where these 200 mothers-to-be, which is in a small area, and these 200 women can go there and take care of everything they need to do. They will have counselors who will get to know them and be available to help them in many other things. Next year, we will take another area in the minority poverty area where we will take another 200 mothers-to-be, because we need that many to have enough research to prove how effective this program is. It'll take 7 years. In the long run, it could save the state of Missouri millions and millions of dollars if they handle them in this fashion. We believe that's true, and the day may come when you'll see 49 other states of the Union emulating your Kansas City program. As Winston Churchill once said, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. The trouble with these awards, such as I am receiving today, they become focused upon an individual rather than a group, which is quite regrettable in my opinion, because of all the things that I've spoken of, accomplishing in the past are doing so in the future, it is due to the associates with whom I work. However, I do recognize from a practical standpoint, someone must be chosen. For this, I thank you.